When Kody asked me to marry him, and I said yes, he kissed me, and I was like, all right, well, it's done. It's been done, so anyway. And I found out that Christine was upset. I remember being really upset because I'd hurt you. I knew it would be complicated, but I didn't know it would break my heart as well.
There are moments in Sister Wives history that fans will never forget. Moments that still sting years later. But out of all the heartbreak, all the jealousy, all the tears that played out on screen, one stands above the rest. The kiss. The kiss that broke Sister Wives forever. It didn't happen at an altar. It didn't happen in front of the family. It happened in secret. It happened when Kody Brown kissed Robyn before they were married. Before she was officially part of the family. Before anyone else had a chance to process what was happening. For Christine, it was devastating. She had lived her entire life in polygamy. She understood the sacrifices, the compromises, the jealousies that came with sharing a husband. But there had always been rules, sacred boundaries. And one of those boundaries was that intimacy waited until marriage. That's the way it had always been. That's the way Christine believed it always should be. So when she learned that Kody had kissed Robyn, not after vows, not after commitment, but during courtship, it was like a knife through her chest. You can see it in her face, hear it in her voice when she admits, "We didn't kiss until over the altar, because I didn't feel right about kissing a married man." And so to me, the fact that he had kissed Robyn was devastating. That single moment changed everything, because it wasn't just about a kiss. It was about respect. It was about trust. It was about Christine realizing that the man she loved, the man she had built a family with for 16 years, was willing to break the rules for someone new. And here's the brutal truth. Fans knew it. They felt it. Watching at home, people could sense the shift. That this wasn't just another wife entering the picture. This was the beginning of the end. Oh, think about it. For years, the Browns had lived by the idea that love should be multiplied, not divided. It sounded noble. It sounded spiritual. But when Kody bent the rules for Robyn, when he gave her something he hadn't given Meri, Janelle, or Christine, it sent a clear message. Love wasn't being multiplied anymore. It was being prioritized. And in that moment, the dream cracked. This wasn't just polygamy as usual. This wasn't just another wife. This was different. And Christine knew it. The kids felt it. Even Meri, the one who had actually introduced Robyn to Kody, began to doubt whether she had made a mistake. On Drama Unfiltered, we don't look away from these moments. We dig into them. And the truth is, that kiss wasn't just a scandal. It was a betrayal. It was the first domino in a chain reaction that would eventually tear the Brown family apart. Because if Kody was willing to break the rules for Robyn once, what else was he willing to do? The kiss didn't just wound Christine. It rattled the entire family. Because in polygamy, rules aren't just rules. They're survival. They're what keep jealousy at bay. They're what let wives convince themselves that everything is fair. When those rules break, everything else crumbles with them. And crumble it did. The kids knew something was wrong before anyone had to tell them. 16 years of stability, 3 moms, 1 dad, no girlfriends, no secret romances. And suddenly, here was Robyn. Suddenly, their dad was disappearing. Suddenly, the man who was supposed to belong to everyone was sneaking kisses in the dark. Do you remember what one of the daughters said? When she found Robyn smelling Kody's jacket and whispering, "I miss your dad," she called it weird. She was just a kid, but she could already see what the adults didn't want to admit. The dynamic had changed forever. The Browns had built their family on the idea that no wife was more important than another. But that kiss told everyone, even the children, that Robyn wasn't coming in as an equal. She was coming in as different, as special. And that difference burned. Christine broke down in confessionals, raw and exposed, saying she never thought it would break her heart this way. Meri admitted she didn't even want to keep going sometimes, that the only reason she stayed was because of her daughter. Janelle tried to put on a calm face, but even she admitted that Kody being gone so much, traveling to see Robyn, was tearing them apart. Let's not sugarcoat this. The kiss wasn't romance. It wasn't sweet. It was betrayal. It was a man telling his wives, the women who had built his home, raised his children, sacrificed their dreams for him, that the rules no longer mattered. And here's the most haunting part. This wasn't just about love. This was about power. Because when Kody kissed Robyn before the wedding, he wasn't just showing affection. He was showing that he could break the rules whenever he wanted, that he could choose passion over tradition, that the standards that once held the family together didn't apply to him anymore. Fans saw it, they felt it, and years later, they still talk about it. They still point to that single kiss as the beginning of the unraveling. Because if trust can break once, it can break again. And that's exactly what we watched happen over the next decade. Until the family we once believed in collapsed completely. On Drama Unfiltered, we call it what it is. That kiss wasn't just a mistake. It wasn't just a small crack in the foundation. It was the explosion that sent shockwaves through every part of the Brown family. You can see it in Christine's tears. You can hear it in Meri's doubts. You can feel it in the kids' discomfort. The moment Kody kissed Robyn, he rewrote the rules of Sister Wives 4. And the tragedy is, no one ever fully recovered. The kiss wasn't just a stolen moment. It was the spark that lit a fire. And soon, the whole family was burning. Because once the boundary was broken, nothing felt safe anymore. Suddenly, Robyn wasn't just a woman Kody was courting. She was the future. She was the priority. And every wife, every child, every corner of the Brown household began to feel the weight of it. Look at the birthday party. On the surface, it was simple. A cake, some decorations, the kids trying to make Robyn feel welcome. But underneath, you could feel the tension pulsing. This wasn't just a birthday. It was a coronation. Robyn wasn't being treated like a guest. She was being treated like royalty. The new queen who had captured Kody's heart in a way no one else ever had. And the wives knew it. Christine's smile looked forced. Meri's face carried that quiet storm only she could hide. Janelle stayed practical, but even her calm couldn't erase the truth. Robyn's arrival was shaking the family to its core. Think about it. For 16 years, this family functioned with its own delicate balance. 3 wives, 1 husband, dozens of kids, endless noise, endless chaos. But somehow it worked. Everyone had their role. Everyone knew their place. Then came the kiss. Then came Robyn. And suddenly, Christine was saying the words no fan could ever forget. I don't want to do this. I'm comfortable with Janelle and Christine. They get me. I don't even know if I want to stay sometimes. Let that sink in. A wife who had spent her entire adult life building this family, raising children, cooking meals, holding the center together, and she was ready to walk away. Why? Because one kiss told her everything she needed to know. She wasn't enough anymore. Fans remember this as the moment when the dream of sister wives stopped being inspiring and started being painful. It was no longer about proving the world wrong, about showing that love could be multiplied. It became a competition, a struggle, a wound that never healed. And what about the kids? They weren't blind. They saw their father disappearing for long drives, chasing after Robyn, missing dinners, missing moments. They saw the difference in how he looked at her, how he smiled with her, how his whole energy shifted. To the children, it must have felt like betrayal too. Because no matter how much their moms tried to explain it, no matter how much they tried to normalize polygamy, they had never lived through this before. They had never seen a girlfriend, a fiancé. For 16 years, it had only ever been mom, mom, mom. And now, there was someone else. Someone who didn't play by the same rules. That's why the kiss broke more than Christine's heart. It broke the illusion that this family could survive anything. The illusion that the rules were sacred. The illusion that love was truly equal. On Drama Unfiltered, we strip away the pretty wrapping and tell the truth. Sister Wives was never the same after that kiss. Not at the birthday party, not during the move, not ever. The wives carried that wound like a scar. The children carried it like a secret. And Kody? He carried it like a trophy. Proof that he could bend the world to his will. Proof that he could put his feelings above the family's balance. Proof that one moment of passion mattered more than decades of loyalty. And that, more than anything, is why fans will never forget. Looking back now, fans call it the beginning of the end. It's almost poetic in a tragic way. The Browns built their family on a dream. That love could be multiplied. That unity could survive jealousy. That faith could hold together what logic could not. And for 16 years, it looked like maybe, just maybe, they were proving the world wrong. But the kiss told us the truth. The dream was already cracking. Christine knew it. Her tears weren't just about a kiss. They were about a promise broken. Meri knew it. Her doubts, her loneliness, her quiet admissions of not wanting to stay. They were the voice of a woman who felt forgotten. Janelle knew it too, in her calm, steady way, watching Kody vanish into Robyn's arms while the rest of the family waited at home. And the kids? They knew it most of all. Kids always see what adults try to hide. They saw the imbalance. They saw the special treatment. They saw their father's love, once shared equally, begin to shift. That's why the kiss broke sister wives forever. Not because it was scandalous, not because it was romantic, but because it revealed the truth. Love wasn't multiplied. It was divided. From that moment on, nothing was the same. Robyn wasn't just another wife. She was the wife. The one Kody bent the rules for. The one who shifted his attention, his energy, his loyalty. And once that line was crossed, the rest of the family was left picking up the pieces. It's why fans still point back to Season 1, Episode 3 as the episode they can't forget. Because it's all there. The doubt, the jealousy, the heartbreak, the kids' confusion, the wives' pain. Everything that would eventually explode into separations and divorces was planted right there in that kiss. Oh, and here's the evergreen truth. Every family has that moment, that one decision, that one betrayal, that one crack in the foundation that you can never fix. For the Browns, it wasn't the public breakups. It wasn't the separations. It wasn't even the later seasons filled with shouting and tears. It was this. The moment a husband chose passion over principle, and in doing so, told his wives and children that their sacrifices didn't matter. On Drama Unfiltered, we bring you back to the moments that shaped everything. And make no mistake, this kiss shaped sister wives forever. It was the moment the dream died, the moment the balance tipped, the moment we all realized that the story we were watching wasn't just about faith and family. It was about heartbreak. It was about jealousy. It was about how even the strongest bonds can unravel with just one choice. And that's why, years later, we're still talking about it. That's why fans still debate it. That's why it still makes people. It's because sometimes the smallest action changes everything. And for sister wives, that kiss was the action that broke the family apart. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video.